guys, and welcome to another Tubi movie review. So today,
I'll
I
leave it
love
right
the
there.
faces that Sean makes when I do stuff because I can always count on her for a reaction, and I appreciate you, ma'am.
Okay, I have
I really
nothing to
do.
say.
And that's fine. Well, either way, guys, I hope you have a lot to say about the movie that we picked today. The movie is titled The Milkman Vengeance, made this very year. Well, it came out this year, 2023. I don't know when they made it. I mean, by the looks of it,
Probably
they
the
made
day
it.
before.
They made it last week, honestly, by the looks of it. I think Mr.
Goodness.
Vernon Williams III, the director, writer, and the producer of this, and also the music supervisor, bit off a
Mm.
bit more than he could chew for this offering from V3 Films.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just give you the light plot. A retired Special Forces Navy SEAL comes home and becomes the vigilante, the Milkman, to avenge the killing of his grandfather who raised him, who was a milkman, who was slaughtered by two racists in the South. It was never clear as to the location of the movie, but we'll go through it. So we'll just do a quick briefing of the plot, and then we'll talk right about it. So it's kind of all over the place, guys. So hang with me. I tried to get it as concise as I could for you. So it opens up with a little SEAL team showing and him voicing over, telling us about his future. The movie just gives it all away for you. Exposition is everywhere in this movie. It just gives it all right away. It just tells you everything you need to know. If there's anything you missed, it's because you fell asleep, because you got bored. And that's okay too, but we'll get there. So it shows us like he was a kid or whatever, and then he's in the military 20 years later. He comes back to town, and then because he's going to live with his mama and he's going to help her out and stuff. And then he's immediately carjacked as he leaves the gas station. And what I can only say is some wonderful camera work at best. Yeah, it was a little something. It was a little rough over there. But yeah, he gets out of that. And then and then they go to these meetings. So now the meetings are probably the funniest thing in the whole fucking movie. So there are several meetings throughout the movie with the mayor and like this guy that's not named. I don't know who he is, but he's important. He's talking at every meeting. There's the chief of police with this weird old ass mustache. There's their PR person, this white lady. I don't know where she falls in. Maybe she was the money for the film and they were like, we'll give you a role. It just gave very much that like we needed more roles, and so they just tried to add shit in. But that's fine, whatever. Then they have this meeting talking about the vigilante that is the Milkman. So, granted, the Milkman is our main character, the protagonist, Chris Kahn. But he's some type of, I don't even really know how to tell you this, guys, but like I guess milk gives him power or something. It's never really made clear.
He said it helps with his anxiety, but milk does the exact opposite. So that made literally no sense.
I can't tell you why he felt that it made sense for him to do that, but he did. And so that's what he did. And so shout out to him. And so he would drink, and any milk will do apparently. Because it doesn't matter the milk. He's going to drink every time.
Yeah, he was just drinking anything with his mouth on people's milk.
So, but now mind you, they all want to catch this milkman. Now there's like 7 chairs here. I don't know how everybody has a seat at the table, but whatever. There it is. And anyway, you meet him and you meet his mama, and then you realize this movie is going to be an ode to the shirtless. Because the protagonist is a very good looking sir. He's very swole, but like he's like swole for no fucking reason. It was like they just picked a bodybuilder and they were like, "You got tats, right? We're gonna put you in here." And I'm not gonna lie, his acting was not great, but the lady that the lady that becomes his co-star, who we're going to meet here very certain,
she was terrible
at the pep rally. Right, it's a protest. She's speaking, whatever. But I feel like their acting was on the same level, so they complemented each other well. You know what I mean? Like I felt like all their scenes weren't super terrible because I feel like expectation was already low, so it worked out really well. But either way, they go to this protest rally where he meets her, and then it jumps to the editing is horrible because it jumps from point to point to point to point. And so then he goes to the protest rally where he meets her, and then they start talking. Then they go to a coffee shop and they talk some more. And then it immediately goes to a scene where the mayor is out just in the boonies somewhere. The mayor of the city is just out here chilling, just by herself with one other person, waiting on this white man, Seven, to come talk to them, who's the other nefarious person. Again, there are other things going on here, but they're not important because it was just served to confusion. So then after that, we get a sexy shower scene where they have some very weird comical sex in the shower. It's pretty hilarious. That was
Never
cute.
done this before. Girl, get the
He was like, yeah, what you
you
mean,
never
shower?
took no dick in the shower, girl. Be quiet.
Girl.
He's like, no, I've just never gone home with a man after just having coffee. I was like, whatever, babe. Whatever you say. Whatever you do.
Whatever you gotta
And
tell
that's fine.
yourself.
So
No
then,
judgment. Do you, boo boo?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's fine, girl. Do your thing, Sandy. This is Sandy. That's his love interest. So then some time passes, and then like a day, and then Sandy calls the milkman, and we're gonna call him Milky for the rest of this. And then she was like, yo, oh my God, some shit went down. He's like, what went down, boo? I'll be right over. And he goes over there, and they have a clunky conversation where she tells him that her baby father, who happens to be one of the crime princes of the city, and is the younger
Crime
brother
prince.
of Severin. Right. He decided to shoot up her rally, and a woman jumped in front of her and spared her life. And so now he's all enraged because now he's in vigilante mode. So he goes to the dude's house, right, and just pulls up on his bike, where for anybody to see, ring doorbell, everything, face out, everything. I was like, okay, bro, I thought you were tactical, but you gonna show your fucking face? Like, did you learn nothing in the military for years? What is wrong with you?
Really not.
But whatever. Sees the fucking pizza man. The pizza man is there. He says, bro, I want to buy all your shit and the pizza. He said, okay, I will buy all your shit and the pizza. So he does that. All right, fine. So then after he decides to do that, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go knock on the door. And then he knocks on the door and goes inside, and they just let him in. They don't even question the shit. I guess they see the pizza gear. They say, fuck it. And then he goes inside, and then it's quiet. He's like, I guess he wants to be the equalizer here, but the equation is not balanced because this was not it. Then he shoots him in the head, and he doesn't kill the women. He doesn't kill any women. He doesn't believe in that. And kills everybody else except one thug that was there. I guess he's a thug. I don't know what else to call him. And then he decides...
reformed very quick.
Right. He reformed, right. He dropped his gun, took off his jacket. He's like, I ain't supposed to be fucking with these niggas. But shot the other dude right in there for turning the corner. Like, so, whatever. I don't want to go into great description because it would just serve to just distract you. And so then after that, he decides, I'm going to let that guy go. So then there's a really weird scene where they have a barbershop robbery just out of nowhere. So they have these two young guys that they decide to go into a barbershop and rob everybody, right? But little do they know, everybody in the barbershop is carrying. And then they send them on their way packing. It served to do nothing with the story. That they don't come back to it. They don't address it. We never see any of those people anywhere else in the film. I don't know why. The shit was weird. I can't tell you. It's very strange. So then after he goes and kills everybody at the home and leaving the women and sparing that guy, he goes home. Just gets off his bike, no mask, and drives back to his house where they could follow him, but it doesn't matter, and decides to drink milk while she watches him. Then the two black detectives, where we don't know where they stand, but we're not sure how they are, they decide to question everybody, and they keep hearing about this milk. And they're like, okay, well, this is wild. Well, we don't know what to do, but we're going to take some notes. So then all of a sudden he's out. Our Milky's out in public with his lady, right? And this kid just out of nowhere finds him. He's like, sir, help me. Stop this man. This kid was being fostered by this pedophile, and he sniffs that out. I don't know how he sniffed it out so well, but he sniffed it out, and he knew that there was wrongdoing here, and he decided to tune up that pedophile because, and then this is really the most fucked up line.
To a retarded kid.
The most fucked up line in the whole movie. In the whole entire movie.
Little boy.
He was like, who would do that to a retarded kid? He's like, sir, I'm not retarded. I'm mentally ill. Or mentally challenged.
Oh my God.
They said
that so many times too, because later on he was like, I'm not ugly. I'm mentally challenged.
It was his catch line. I don't know why they needed that. Look, it's whatever. It's whatever. But so then we have another meeting where they decide to close in on Milky. And they're like, okay. And then, so then we're gonna go through. And then we got the two black detectives after that, and they decide to capture and arrest the pedophile, realizing that maybe this guy is doing some good. So I don't know, at some point, do they like him? Do they think this nigga is nigga Batman or what? But it is what it is. So then we have another meeting where they decide, where we see the mayor, and they're like, you know what? You need to get this shit together. That's fine. So then they stake out Milky's house. Oh, I forgot. The mayor killed her boyfriend. I forgot to tell you guys that. That's another little lie they never come back to. The mayor killed her boyfriend because they accidentally killed the boyfriend's mama, and so he's upset and tries to blackmail her. So then she kills the boyfriend. You know, I just thought you should know that. That's important. So then they find Milky. They stake out his crib. They go in that bitch, right? And they storm the crib. They have the drop on them. They have 3 niggas.
How they find
right?
his house, we don't know.
No, they found his house because he's a fucking dumbass. And they were like, oh, you know how we found this house? Because we pulled the fucking plate because he drove up there with no goddamn mask and then realized the registration is registered to his house. That was the easy part.
But then they act like they discovered his name when they got there. They act like they didn't know his name until they got there.
Right. Aren't y'all the
His
police?
house.
Aren't y'all the police? Shouldn't y'all have this information?
Got his house but don't know his name. What?
Right. Because they don't find his name. Well, I'll tell you how they find his name in just a moment. So they decide to start. But then this was really crazy to me. So you got 3 people, 3 guns, and y'all still let this nigga get away. How did he get away and kill one of your guys? And you killed his grandmama. You killed his grandmama in the meantime. Didn't kill him. I don't know how you shot him in the shoulder. I don't even know when that happened. And honestly, I don't even know who shot his grandmother. Because I was like, so do you see her?
Yeah, I didn't see that even happen. I just saw her dead. I'm like,
the bullet just bounced off the wall and shot her and she just died. And he had enough time to grip her body on the ground and sit there with a gun on him and then jump up, grab a gun and shoot one of them and then leave with the woman and the mentally ill child. I don't even know how he did it. But
make sense.
And then the nigga left his wallet and they didn't know his name until they found the wallet. They were like, now we know who he is. He's Chris Kahn. That's who he is. Shit's crazy. So then now they're coming at him from all sides. Now they're trying to find him. But the 2 black cops now think something's going on. So all these years you didn't think nothing's going on. But they decide to shake down the white police chief and be like, yo, there's some dirty cops. And the police chief is like, I don't know, but I'm gonna go. It's just the most awkward ass scene ever.
Hey y'all. It's your boy Tris.
It's your girl Liz.
and I'm Shauna Don.
And we are Culture 101.
Formerly known as the Millennial Masterclass.
We're the same old millennials.
And now we're pushing the culture forward.
So then now it's just a moment of exposition. So now the cops are talking and they tell you about the history of him and how he was a little boy and how his grandfather got shot and these 2 racist cops, whoever shot the man, a bunch of bullshit you didn't even really need to know because at this point you're no longer interested, but whatever. And then they have just a bunch of fucked up camera angles just throughout this bitch. But we'll get to that later. It's fine. So we're in the home stretch, guys. I promise the movie's almost over. So then they decide to go to Sandy's aunt's house, the freaky aunt. And she's laying low, and they go there. And she got this weird red Erykah Badu wig on, but whatever. I'm going to allow it. It was something different. And so they go in there. She treats his wounds. And then they have another meeting to try to set up a trap for him. And they set up a trap, and they're like, you know what? We're going to publicize it because he can't resist the trap. And so they set it up. And so then they're there. And then he sees the bait. He takes it. He's like, I got to go. I got to go save these people. Now, he don't know where these people are. He just saw this shit on the news. So if they're reporting about it now, that means that it's probably already happened a few hours ago because they didn't take the time to edit it. But you think that this is the time I need to go to action right now. I don't know about you, but Batman never figured out what was going on from the news. Okay? Like, Batman was always ahead of his information. That's just all I'm going to.
Right.
So then he's like, all right, I got to go. And then Sandy's like, no, don't you dare go. I'm going with you. Are you serious? He's like, and then now
they in love. They know each other for 2 days.
She annoyed me so much with this.
But she down by her man, and I respect that. You know, I want me somebody
that'll ride or die.
That'll come and ride with me and a mentally ill child and take on the world. That just sounds fantastic. So he decides to leave. And then Sandy follows him, but he don't know this. Okay. Now, so then he shows up to the fucking place. I guess it was a hospital basement. I don't know how he knew to go there. The nigga's immediately captured. He's immediately captured. They trade dart him and then take him off to some warehouse and beat the shit out of him. And then we come to find out the police chief is actually the guy that killed his grandfather, but he came back to town under a new identity and put his son in place. And is his son a police officer? Is Seven even a cop? I don't even know. Because they never clearly stated this, but whatever. That's fine. And so then all of a sudden he gets some super nigga strength or something and comes out. He hadn't even had any milk and just jumps out, breaks his cuffs, beats, and then gets shot in the chest. So the guy sees him, the other detective sees him, shoots him in the stomach, and then he still proceeds to break this guy's neck. Because he's like, you know what? I'm going to fight him. Throws down his gun, takes off his shirt, and decides, I'm going to fight this guy.
Like, that taking off his shirt part cracked me up, man.
It was like
back in the day hood fight. It's like, why are you taking off your shirt?
No, it was exactly
Extra.
what it was. Because he was like, you're not going to be swollen to me this whole movie. I was actually surprised at how swole homeboy was. I was like, wow, okay, good for you, bro. And so then he was like, all right, I'm going to fight him. And then it was the shortest fight ever because he immediately got in a headlock and got his neck snapped. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So then now he's held up, and now the other man got plenty of guns. They got plenty of guns because the other two black officers just show up. He said, we got an anonymous tip. Who the fuck called you? What anonymous tip? Who would know about this? Who could possibly anonymously tip you? That's already wild. And then they go to the door because he's held up in the room, and it's like, hey, bruh, we need you to come out. He just snapped your boy's neck, but you need him to come out. He said, we need you to come out. And then he was like, yo, bro, you got some milk on you? And asked these niggas for some milk. And they bring him some. And they give it to him. And I don't even know if he takes a sip of this whole homogenized milk.
Shit.
Right. Drinks the milk, comes out with him, and then all of a sudden 7 comes up. And his lady comes out of nowhere. Lady gets shot and then shoots one of the other officers and then doesn't shoot that guy anymore. So he's only shot the once. And then he's like, yeah, you killed my brother. And then all of a sudden the other cop was around the corner and shoots the police captain and 7. So then they leave. And so then the milkman gets away and escapes in a car with the aunt. I don't know how the aunt was there. I guess the guy that he let go. Right, the guy that he let go earlier, he said, I told you I was going to do good, OG. I don't even know how he had his number because he didn't exchange numbers. But whatever. He had his number. And the guy came in a truck and got him and the aunt. I don't know why the aunt was there. Because she was there as he was carrying out the Sandy's body. Well, then the 2 black detectives, the white dudes are dead now. And the 2 black detectives come. And then they talk with the mayor because the mayor shows up. They're like, yo, did you take him out? Great. Like, this was their plan all along. And then now the black detective is shot. He's shot in the leg, but he still proceeds to get in this car and go home. Like, nigga, where are you going? She going to the hospital? Are there not ambulances here? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? But whatever. And so the movie finally ends with a funeral scene, right? And I don't know whose funeral it is. Like, I'm still not sure whose funeral it is. And then you see.
I think it's Sandy.
Are you sure? Because I don't know if that's true.
That would make sense.
I see the aunt there, but like a bunch of people died. And if you want to cover it properly, it seems like they all need an official funeral. It just seems to me that would be the way.
It seemed like it was Sandy's.
And then you see this little white screen where he's saying some stuff that has nothing to do with the film. And he's like, yo, and then it's his grandfather, it's the grandmother. The grandfather's in the milk outfit, and then it's Sandy and it's Milky. And you got these two generations of couples just sitting here dead and white. He's like, and just because I didn't make it with you, doesn't mean I didn't leave you something behind. Nigga, what did you leave behind? A bowl of milk? Like, what are this for cats? What are you talking about?
Just milk and hella anxiety.
And that's the whole movie, guys. That's the whole plot. That's the whole plot of the movie. Honestly, I gave it more credit than what it needed because I don't know if you can call this a fucking plot. But I'm gonna say we're gonna let you. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
I'm giving it a 1.
God damn. They got it made.
Yeah, when I read that milk can cause anxiety, that shit pissed me off. The fact that he said that was helping with his anxiety and he just kept drinking that milk. Then when the aunt made him that powdered milk, that it just all was going too far. The acting was bad. It was just overall bad. I give it a 1.
Well, I hated it. I feel like you chose this just to spite us for 2 wrongs last week, and the fact that we actually enjoyed that.
I'm gonna make y'all watch some trash for real.
Man, it was the worst thing I've seen on Tubi to date, for sure. And I'm just like,
y'all didn't love the stock footage of the cities they was slipping there from time to time, and then you didn't love all the music choices by Vernon.
It was all terrible.
Vernon the Third.
Where were they at? We don't know.
It was never clear.
It was never clear. The music was the worst thing for me. Like, the music just didn't fit. Like, there was time where, like, you had weird ass noises, and then the shit was too loud in some places, and then you had like real intense music in a scene that didn't need it, and then these meetings, like when were y'all meeting in clubs? They shot the movie actually in the DMV. That's where they shot it. They shot it,
really?
Yeah, they shot it in the Maryland area. Waldorf, around there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you can definitely see their little meeting spots. They had like different backgrounds at every angle. So it's like, are you inside a club? Are you inside a doctor's office? Like, where the hell are y'all inside?
Right.
It didn't make no sense. It didn't make no kind of sense. No.
Yeah, for me, it just.
Leslie?
Oh, you'd be lucky if I give a full 0.5. It's like,
God damn. Like they got this.
I can barely put that up confidently.
They got this shit made.
Wait, was 5 the worst?
5 is
Because I was
best.
giving it a
No, I said I can barely give it a 0.5.
Oh, I thought you said a 4.5.
She don't even want to give it the whole
shit.
fist. She don't even
I
want to
can't give it a 1.
fist.
I'm barely wanting to give it a 0.5. It was terrible. Terrible. And I can't get that time back.
Well, you know what's really crazy for me about that movie?
I was folding my laundry during this, so it was productive for at least.
I get that. I had to watch it twice because I had to go through with notes. Because the first time I couldn't even take it. It was too much. Because I was like, then what's fucked up is that I may have had some malice in my heart when I chose this, but then forgetting that I had to watch it more times. That was the other part.
Yeah.
I really did myself a disservice.
Backfired on that ass. Mm-hmm.
Karma came back and got you real quick.
Because I was like, when I got done watching it, I was like, fuck, I gotta watch it again. Oh my God.
That's why you treat others how you want to be treated. You know, when you try to spite us, you just, what's the saying?
Learn your lesson.
That's fine. That's fine. I just know that there were several scenes that, like, if you literally just did a bit more camera work, this would have actually been fine. You would have been fine. And if you had just been a little less lazy with your Chat GPT dialogue, you would have been fine. But you just decided to turn in some bullshit. And you were like, well, the dialogue needs to serve the story. Yeah, but like you need to not just give it all. Like I felt like it was like a fucked up strip show. You know how like you have a burlesque dancer, she come out and she would tease you, you know, she get naked slowly. Like this was just like some old saggy just came out just naked. Look at it. Smoking a cigarette. Look at it. Look at me. Just look at all of this. Look at everything. Look at it. It was just they gave it all up too fast. They gave it up too fast. It was too much.
That little white boy and his little mentally challenged lines throughout the whole movie. And why did the aunt ask him, what is a middle-class African-American? What?
That was so
because they were trying to be deep. Like, I felt like in their minds, they were like, you know what? I think no one's going to watch the whole movie. So if we just show them a couple scenes, they'll think it's a lot better than it is. Like, I think in their minds, they were like, yo, let's make 3 or 4 scenes really good. And no scenes, not on one.
They failed miserably. It was terrible.
I think that Vernon just had a bit more than he could do because, like, Vernon Williams III was the writer, he was the director, and he was the producer, and he was the music supervisor.
Oh, he was on his Tyler Perry shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, because last week Shell wrote, directed, produced, and starred.
Was she the music director though?
Sure, why not? We're not gonna give him no pass for making something terrible when we see it.
I think he just bit off more than he could chew, and that was.
So he should have done the music. That was too much.
I think it was too much. I think it was.
Bit off more milk than he can drink.
Yeah, clearly, any milk will do. I think it was the funniest when he had that oat-like milk from the fucking home. I was like, nigga, wait, are you drinking almond milk now? What kind of milk is it? Does it matter? Does it matter what kind of milk?
You weren't feeling it.
I'm gonna give this one 1.5 fists. And I'm going to tell you why. Tell you why. First off, they got it made. And that's just the first thing I got to say. They got people together that shared a vision in these horrible acting jobs. Like, I don't know if, like, they just didn't get time to rehearse. There was no table read. But whatever it was, they got the shit made. I'm giving it a half because there were some camera angles that I did like that I could see were original things. And there were some positives. I had a list of positives. They had some interesting stock footage. Whoever picked the stock footage of the cities and stuff, those were interesting moments. And Sandy and Milky complimented each other because they were both at the same level of acting.
Terrible.
The list of cons is too long to share. It's too long to share, but I'm gonna pick my favorite one: the Chief's mustache. That just pissed me the fuck off. I'm looking at that mustache.
He had the little man, little.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that what they call a porn stash?
No, that's
A
not
porn
in
stash.
the
That's what
twenties.
people do.
In the 20s, if he was fucking
Mhm.
going to Charleston, no, that wasn't it. But yeah, we're gonna give it 1.5 stars and be done with it. This is what I'm gonna as I recommend this. Does it do it for the culture?
Don't.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't do anything.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Does it do it for the culture?
It does not.
It's an astounding no across the board.
Resounding.
0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Like
Do
it
not
definitely
recommend.
stole time.
This was a star review.
It stole time that I will never get back for sure. Like
Exactly.
it definitely stole. Like I would be leery to watch any more of Vernon William III's productions if this is the offers he's gonna give us. You know.
Can't do it.
But shout out
I
to all
can't
those
wait.
involved. I'm happy that y'all had that experience, and you know
Mhm.
we look
Good for
we
y'all.
look forward to the next thing. And legend has it there might be a sequel to
No,
this
we
movie.
don't.
So you know
And we ain't
we'll
watching it.
check back
No,
in,
They
guys.
all died.
We'll check back in.
What we sequel?
Until the next time,
Not on
guys.
this.
This has been the Tubi Movie Review. Please like, subscribe, follow, check us out on all the social media platforms, and tell us what you thought of the Milkman Vengeance. Was it milky enough for you? Did it give you the lactose you had been needing? Did you enjoy?
I'm intolerant now.
Did you enjoy our bulk? Did you enjoy our bulky, aesthetically pleasing protagonist? You know, did you enjoy it? Tell us what you thought about the Milkman. You know, did it do it for the culture for you?
Hated it.
Until the next time, guys. Deuces.
We out.